Whoa! A year? Already? Jesus. So yeah, I've been voice acting for around a year now, and honestly, it feels pretty good. To be honest, I don't really feel like I've improved that much, but on the plus side, I've got some better equipment, and I've been thrown onto some projects with some super awesome people. But before I get into that, I want to share the story on how I became a voice actor for my 1 year anniversary. So it all started one day when I was just a small boy, like a year and a half ago, and I was watching through YouTube Music when I stumbled upon a video. Now, this wasn't a normal music video. No. It was a Rhythm Doctor video, a game that I would later get horribly obsessed with, but that's irrelevant. The song was One Slip Too Late, and despite being an absolute banger of a song, there's also one additional part that really caught my attention. I'll play it now.
Do you know, did you hear, his play was play of the year?
Was that him on the news?
Video had 1 million views, they call him a show-off.
But they're not wearing his clothes.
My hero would never hesitate to take his shot.
Did you hear it? It's Linferno, a content creator that I absolutely found awesome at the time. And seeing that made me think, whoa, this guy who started off doing fun covers and songs made his way into a video game, not only imprinting his entire legacy permanently in the game, but on the entire internet because of how much of a banger it is. By the way, totally check out Rhythm Doctor, by the way, it is awesome. Which made me want to start up doing covers and then put them online, secretly hoping that Rhythm Doctor would notice me, but let's be honest, I'm overshooting here. And so I did. Until I realized I sucked at putting my voice in and literally everything else together. And so I did. Until I realized that I sucked at putting my voice and literally everything else together. So I got upset, turned off my computer, which all things considered was stupid. I wasn't good at something first try, so I gave up because I thought I had such a long way to go. And don't get me wrong, I did. There are some absolute powerhouses when it came to voice acting and singing, and unfortunately at that point I couldn't equate to any of them. So I gave up. Then that night, I was visited by the angel Gabriel of past, present, and future, and he looked at me dead in the eyes and he told me, "Stop being a coward, Sparky. You aren't going to get anywhere whining like you are, so go and do it. Get on the damn microphone." And at that I was in shock, like Gabriel Ultrakill was in my room yelling at me, or at least speaking to me in a passive-aggressive voice, to continue acting. And with teary eyes, I looked up at him and I said, "Why don't you sound like Gianni?" "What? What do you mean?" Yeah, well, what's up with your voice? Something's off." "Well, maybe I don't have enough disposable income to hire Gianni for a few lines. We haven't been paid in like 5 weeks." Then I said, "Oh, fair. So, will you have his voice on the 2nd year anniversary?" "Do the damn voice acting thing." "Okay." And so I did. I went on a variety of sites to try and voice act, only to find out I needed a monthly subscription to use it. Like, geez, dude, I'm giving you a service of my voice. Why do I have to pay for it? I mean, I completely understand it's because you're pretty much like an online agent, but shut up, I was doing this for fun. And at that point, yet again, I was pretty discouraged. Until I found Casting Call. Casting Call is an amazing website where anyone is welcome to request or give a digital service. Want writers? You got it. Want animators? You got it. Want voice actors? Oh wait, that's me. I want to be there. So I made my Casting Call account and started applying. And to be honest, it was really embarrassing at first because I hate the sound of my own voice. Ironic, I know. And I was consistently afraid that somebody was just going to beat me down for trying, but oddly enough, no one did. Everyone seemed to be really chill there and have fun, at least in my experience. Not only that, it was free, so I never spent a cent that wasn't mine, and then an audition sent? Fine. I'll stop quoting songs now. And just like that, I started voice acting. I found some gigs on Casting Call, and I found some gigs on places like TikTok. Found some major roles, found some minor ones, all of which gave me enough experience to be here now and confidently call myself a voice actor. Will I be the next Gianni or Michael Kovac? No. But I'll certainly try to just be Sparky fam. Who knows, maybe I can inspire somebody watching to start voice acting, just like my inspiration did for me. And if you think that you're one of those people, do it. You don't need the best setup or the best skill set. Those will naturally evolve with time. And chances are you've got the perfect performance that somebody out there is looking for. So do it. If you think that you could, and that you're willing to give it a shot, do it. Because the worst they can say is no. Right? Despite the fact that I'm technically working on 4 different VA projects, I didn't initially have them all. In fact, I got rejected so many times before that, which is something that you're going to have to be prepared for if you want to be a voice actor. Whether that be casually or full-time, you aren't going to get every role, and that's okay. You'll learn what you need to improve if they give you feedback, or allow some good self-reflection if you don't. But despite how many times you get rejected, you owe it to yourself to keep going. Had I given up when I was rejected, I wouldn't be a part of all of these amazing projects. Now, it can't be an anniversary with me giving some crappy advice like I'm a tutorial giving NPC, so here's a few questions that I think are important. First question, what advice would you give to somebody just starting voice acting? The main advice I would give is just try to audition for everything that you think that you can do, even if there are 1,000 other people doing it. It gives you great practice and, of course, a chance you'll get the role. For example, with Despair, there were hundreds of people applying for those roles, and I did it anyway. And lo and behold, guess who plays Spike in there? Question 2. How can someone practice voice acting without expensive equipment? Easy! You don't. You don't need a perfect quality mic unless it's for a super professional project. And still even then, most people won't care as long as you're good at what you do. Plus, you can always use software like BandLab and Audacity for free ways to edit your voice. Question 3. Is it okay to start with fan projects or unpaid work? Absolutely. That's how I started. And, I mean, look at me now. I've gotten tons of practice and even some more permanent roles in games. 3 to be exact. Wink wink. There's zero shame in starting with those projects, and in fact, I fully recommend it. You'll help yourself with practice, and you'll help somebody else with their vision. It's a win-win. Question 4. How do you develop different voices for characters? Usually, people will give you a guide on how they want the character to sound, and that's usually by saying they've got a deep masculine voice, or they've got a high-pitched British accent. And usually I use that as a guide, but for ones that don't, I mostly just look at how their character design is, if it's just a photo. And if it's a video, I look at body language and their movements. And I just make a voice based on that. For example, with Pepperman, I had no idea what Pepperman would sound like, but by the looks of him, he looked like an over-eccentric person who thought way too highly of themselves. So I gave them a posh voice and a bit of a crazed accent, and that seemed to be enough. And I got the role for it. And stuff like that, it helps me immensely in crafting a voice and sticking with it. Question 5. How do you handle yelling, crying, or emotional scenes safely? I don't. Please make sure that you don't follow that piece of advice, for the love of God. Find ways to safely do that, because the last thing you want to do is hurt your voice as a voice actor. The worst part is, one time I gave myself laryngitis twice back to back because I didn't take proper care of my voice, which caused me to have to push back a deadline for a project I was working on. Sorry, busy bee. So yeah, take care of your voice. I mean, I've got a response from Reddit here. For screaming in general, just make sure the actors are breathing from their diaphragm, sitting up straight before they do it, drinking loads of room temperature water, and if they're not used to screaming, they should probably warm their voices up with vocal exercises. So yeah, do that. Because trust me, laryngitis is not fun. Number 6. How can you make a small role stand out? You can make any role stand out with the way that you perform and the way that you carry out your character. If you make sure that you put your heart and soul into a character and let your performance make your character shine, then you're golden. It sounds cheesy, I know, but that's literally it. If you give a good enough performance that shows character and emotion, well then, they'll easily stand out in any form of media that they're in. Question number 7. How do you deal with imposter syndrome? How do you deal with imposter syndrome or comparing yourself to others? Yeah, imposter syndrome, that's something that I have felt quite a bit. Sometimes I feel like I don't deserve some of the roles that I've got, or thinking that I'm not good enough to be a voice actor, but one thing that helps is remembering that I don't need to be the next X or Y voice actor. I should strive to be my own voice actor with my own quirks to bring to the table that make me valuable. Have I personally found them in myself yet? No, but that won't stop me from trying. I want to be like my voice acting heroes, not be them, if that makes sense. I'm not comparing myself to others anymore, more or less taking inspiration off of them. Question number 8. What helped you gain confidence in your voice? Literally everybody I've worked with has said nice things about my performances, which really helps with this. Honestly, if any of you are watching this, you're the reason why I've kept going this long. Like I said earlier, I used to be really self-conscious of my voice, and hearing people say nice things about my voice, well, that's amazing to hear, and it's really comforting. So yeah, surround yourself with supportive people, and don't let haters get you down. Bit of a side note, this isn't exclusive to people I've worked with. There's also friends and family that I've had that have also been really, really supportive. So thank you guys. Number 9. What's the most important thing in a home setup for beginners? Make sure you minimize echo in your recordings. And this can be done super easy. I used to throw a jacket over my microphone, and right now I'm trying to get a pop filter and a wind guard for my mic to help with it. Which is why there might be a mild echo, but I digress. It's super important. I mean, it's not life-threatening, but it is important to keep in mind. Number 10. What are some tips for editing or cleaning up your audio? Personally, I use BandLab as I have a large number of filters to add to my voice, as well as voice mod to help with recording, all of which give me a bit of an edge for recording lines when it comes to polishing them up. Question 11. How do you keep your voice healthy when recording often? If your throat starts to hurt during recording or at any point, stop. For the love of God, stop. If your voice hurts at all, take a break and come back a day later. Not pushing yourself is really important. Back to the whole laryngitis thing, because I didn't take this advice. So take a break. Question 12. Is it important to network as a voice actor? If so, how? Absolutely. My role as Pepperman was because I networked with Funnyman. He came back to me after my first initial video and told me that he wanted me to reprise my role as Pepperman. And because of that networking, I was able to get that role. And also because of that, that's also opened up possible opportunities of other people wanting to do covers or original songs with my voice. My role as Jasper was originally because I voiced an OC for Fredbon Films, of which she recommended me other roles that I didn't get chosen for, but it's fine, it's fine. Make sure you network, because if you help somebody, chances are they'll help you back. On a side note on the topic of networking, because of networking, Funnyman will actually feature in a video of mine later on that I'm making, when I finish the goddamn script for it, so yeah, wait for that one when I decide to get working on it, because I'm lazy and stupid. Question 13. How can someone build a voice acting portfolio or demo reel over time? I've said this before, but start with small unpaid roles and using that to, build up previous performances. Using those, you can make a demo reel for yourself, and that allows you to have your employers see it and increase your chance of getting hired. Especially since some roles do require you to supply a demo reel. Question 14. What's a mistake that you made early on that you've learnt from? Peaking my microphone. Please pay attention to that. I did that in my earlier videos and performances, and I still kick myself for it. If it is in the red, you need to turn it down. Whether that's turning down the gain or moving away from your mic, you need to make sure that you don't pick your microphone because it sounds weird. I did it in the Amanda the Adventurer cover. However, I was able to disguise that with a bit crusher filter. You can't do that in most performances. So don't peek the mic, guys, come on. Question 15, what's something you wish more beginner voice actors understood? Coming from, I guess, a beginner voice actor myself, not every role is going to be yours, and not every role will be massive. Sometimes you'll get super important roles, sometimes you'll just get a one-off line. You need to lower your expectations. Voice acting is a super competitive field, and yeah, you may get lucky and get a super major role in your first time, but most of the time you won't. Be patient and understand that just because you didn't get a role doesn't mean that you can hate on other voice actors or hate yourself. Be kind, especially to yourself. Question 16. What's your golden rule of voice acting? The final question. My golden rule is simple. Have fun. Voice acting should be enjoyable for you, and you should be able to look at a project that you made or featured in and feel proud. Engage with the community and make sure that you're enjoying it. The moment you stop having fun, it'll show in your work, and furthermore, it will negatively affect you. Be proud of your work and be excited for the things to come. Don't bring other people down. Enjoy your work, enjoy others' work. But most of all, enjoy voice acting, because let's be honest, it's so cool having your voice featured in a show or a game or a short film. Just, yeah, be happy and be along for the ride. And one final thing before I go is a big announcement. I now have a Ko-Fi page. That's right, you can commission me for stuff that you want me to say. I'll do my best and try to give you as much as I can for a low price. Plus, if you want me to voice act for a game or short film, you can email me here for a more personalized rate. Now, I hear some of you saying, Sparky, why are you charging for stuff that you're giving out for free? You don't need that money. And to that I say, yeah, I don't. And I'm not really doing that. See, I'll still do stuff for free if you're able to find me in the right places, but often I'll forget about some of the things that people have asked me to do, and because of that, it risks me not completing it. As a side note, spamming me to do stuff won't circumvent the forgetfulness. If you're going to harass me to do something for free, I am not going to do it. I will probably block you. It's not being mean, it's just setting boundaries. Respect voice actors, guys. Come on, we're people too. However, with a commission, I will ensure that nothing stops me from getting your commission done, even if it kills me or if I have to kill somebody else to do that. Because I'll be damned if I disappoint a paying customer. Also, the custom rate is only for projects that plan to be monetized. However, understand that if you are doing a game that's going to be sold for free, I may be too busy to do voice acting for it, which is why I offer a paid option for priority. It's not essential, it just gives a little priority to supporters, as well as supporting what I do. Additionally, if you just like my work, you can tip me. I've got a goal that I'm working towards now, where I'm trying to get myself a super cool microphone. I've decided that I'm not going to spend a single cent of my actual money, and it's only going to be paid for by commission money. I'm going to have to earn that microphone. Now, shameless advertisement aside, I'm going to eat my birthday cake. I'll let everybody that I've worked with on major projects speak now, as all of them deserve a spotlight for the amazing work that they've done and the amazing work that they'll do. And also, bit of advertising for their projects, because again, they deserve recognition. So goodbye everyone, and thank you so much for coming along with me on this voice acting journey. And I can't wait for the 2nd year anniversary where, hopefully we'll have enough money to actually get Gianni to make an appearance here. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, anyway, God. I thought that it was going to switch by now. How do I turn...
Hello there, I'm Astro, and I'm the creator of Despair. Sparky Fam is the wonderful voice actor for Spike. Despair is a story-driven fighting game inspired by Overwatch, Block Tales, old Roblox, and also fighting. I'm assuming by the time this is up, all auditions are still open, so if you want to come down and try out for some roles, we'd really appreciate it. I really appreciate Sparky Fam and all my voice actors. He's very talented. So yeah, that's Despair. If it sounds interesting, come on down. Also, congratulations Sparky Fam for getting at your 1-year anniversary for voice acting. You are very talented, and I think everybody should hire you for anything you audition for. Actually, you know what? You're the voice actor for everybody in Despair now. Yeah, everybody else is fired. It's just your job now.
Hello, I am Sir Jimothy. I'm kidding. What am I even doing? Anyways, I'm Funnyman, and I'm the director of Pizza Tower with Lyrics, who Sparky Fam was the Pepperman of, which he did great as, by the way. But yeah, he's a really good voice actor. I mean, he's quick, he's efficient, and he's got talent. I don't know what else to say here. You know what you should do? Subscribe to him. Listen, this is on YouTube. If it's not, oh well.
Hello, I'm Emilio, and I'm the creator of the upcoming FNAF fan game Once It Plays. It takes place in the year 1972, located at Florence, Arizona. I'll save the details for another time, but Sparky plays the role of Jasper Jackrabbit, a mischievous character with a lot of personality. I also write sometimes and draw quite often. If you would like to follow me anywhere, my YouTube channel is Fredbon Films. Thank you for being a part of my project and making yourself a part of it. Bye.
Hi, my name is Misharik, or you can call me Mish. I am an artist, an animator. I run my own TikTok and YouTube account, which is still smaller than TikTok, but I still have it, yeah. At the moment, I'm directing a fan series called Undertale, Fun Animated Series, which is dedicated to the 10 years anniversary of Undertale. The series will be animated adaptation of the original plot of the game, with small additions in the plot that will better reveal the lore of the underground. Sparky will also be voicing some roles in the series. Mainly, Sparky voices Flowey and Sense! Yes, it so happens that he auditioned for 2 different roles, but I like his work so much that I took him for the role of Flowey and Sense. Ironic, considering that both of these characters know that you sing. But however, be sure to wait and watch the first episode of the Undertale fan animated series on my YouTube channel on September 16th. I will really look forward to seeing you, and thank you Sparky for his work on the series.
Hiya, my name is B, a epic gay B-girl, and I'm autistic. Anyways, I'm currently working with Sparky Fam on my Friday Night Funkin mod called Everything Funkin. The mod is basically a celebration of the FNF community while also being its own thing with OCs and stuff. Sparky Fam is voice acting in the mod, and don't tell the other voice actors I said this, but he's been the funniest and easiest to work with. He's very talented, just like all the other VAs, and he has a lot of range. So far, he's voicing Steve from Takeman, Pico, and Aloy. And depending on how successful the demo is, we may revive a song that he was originally gonna sing in. Point is, Sparky Fam is very talented, and if you're watching this and you need a VA for a project, hire this man, god damn it. He's extremely talented, and I'm super proud of him for making it this far in his voice acting career. Here's to another year of voice acting. That doesn't make any sense, does it?